Blessed to have him on another Monday talking all things KC with our 50-50 elected mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, Mayor Quentin Lucas. Now, Tyree Bell lost nearly 3 weeks of his life sitting in jail without ever being charged, Mayor Lucas, and only got out because a detective finally watched body cam footage and realized they had the wrong person. The city is now paying $900,000 for a mistake that never should have happened. Black families in Kansas City see this and think, this could have been my son. We know your hands are tied when it comes to direct control over KCPD, but as a black father yourself, Mayor Lucas, how do you honestly tell black parents in KC to prepare their kids for police interactions when compliance still doesn't guarantee safety?
I agree with you 100%. I'm not going to lie. I was outraged by this situation. I think that anybody who looked at the facts should be outraged by this situation. And frankly, we should make more noise about it. I think that one area where we get to have some impact is that the governor appoints our police commissioners. Currently, there is not a police commissioner who currently lives on the east side of Kansas City. I moved to near the west side of Kansas City. And so therefore, when we talk about black parents and black families, you got two black commissioners. Maybe we're both from the east side originally, but at least the folks who are in the trenches every single day, right, who are understanding what's going on. We need more voices. We need a new voice heard. There may end up being a new position on the Board of Police Commissioners. We have to implore that you have this cultural competency in leadership. Because, Brian, I'm not even going to lie to you today. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to come up with flowery language. That was an injustice. I remember when I heard about that the first time, I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it's the sort of thing that typically heads would roll for. Maybe that happened. Maybe that didn't. I won't confirm that. But what I will say is we need to keep pushing to make sure that change happens, because time and time again, we have all this flowery language. We talk about opportunity, but black folks are still treated worse in this city and in this country. So I think that that is something that is both a shame. I think the settlement is entirely appropriate. And I think that what we need to do is make sure something like that never happens again and people are punished if it does.
Well, quickly, like Kansas City, we keep paying out millions to civil rights cases tied to police and errors. And I wish that Chief Stacey Graves was here answering this, but what concrete changes can she make with KCPD so we're not writing another check and having the same conversation 5 years from now?
A few different things that you can do. You got to fire people. You got to punish people who make real mistakes like this. Let me go back to you got to fire people. So if you got folks that are committing either repeated offenses or egregious offenses, and I think we've had examples of that in the news over the years and maybe even over the weeks, then yes, that's what you need to do. What you can't just do is make it seem like somebody over there is going to pay for it. The problem in Kansas City right now is that the police department itself doesn't even pay the money for the damages. City council basically does at the end of the day. So in essence, you got this board that says, oh yeah, that was bad. We're going to kick this money payment to somebody else. There is never that level of accountability. I'm answering the questions now, right? But nobody else at the department will ever, it seems, answer that question. That's where the problem is. You need accountability. We do not have it. And I think if I was talking to the chief right now or anyone, you need to ask her if a camera's in her face or a microphone. But who got punished? Not how much was paid. She ain't paying that. Who got punished? What happened to him afterwards? What rules changed to make sure it never happened again? That's what I want to see.
Mayor Lucas, congratulations on being appointed president of the Democratic Mayors Association. When you step into a national leadership role like that, what responsibility do you feel to represent Kansas City, and what do you want people nationwide to understand about our city that they might get wrong?
I want them to understand all the stuff that's going on in Kansas City, that we're a major city. We have very real issues, but wonderful talents, opportunities, performers, and more. So part of what I think every national engagement I get to do is to platform Kansas City. We're platforming Kansas City beyond just the Chiefs, platforming them beyond, music stars that may be dating the Chief, right? We have a lot of interesting stuff, culture, history, Carter Broadcast Group being one of them. And so I think that what I want to do is share the centrality of it. I also want to remind you, I guess you don't know it, I want to let you know I was at a dinner at a school, I went to law school, Cornell University in New York State, and the university president, which was goofy, she said, I didn't know Kansas City had black people, older white lady. So I guess we got to teach them about all that too. But I look forward to sharing a whole lot about Kansas City and this role over the years ahead and how we stand up for justice.
Ignorance is bliss.
She learned something new.
We're talking all things KC with our 50-50 elected mayor of Kansas City, Missouri, Mayor Quentin Lucas. Now, the 18th and Vine Streetcar Feasibility Study Project team is meeting with KCATA in the city of Kansas City about a possible east-west transit with the streetcar. Mayor Lucas, what is your vision for 18th and Vine and the streetcar possibly being connected going east-west?
You know, in terms of east-west connection, I think it's going to be vital to make sure this streetcar line, which is growing, and we've appreciated the north-south engagement, but includes more communities, more cultures, and more of us. And so I think that, you know, what we need to do is, first of all, show the support for it. The next important step is going to be finding the money during the Trump administration. And so, you know, I'm not going to pretend and say it's all a done deal tomorrow, but I think this is where we get the work started so that in the years ahead, we're able to build that out.
I'm going to put my optimistic hat on, and let's just say that all things go according to plan and we get yeses with this thing. What's a possible opening date that we could see construction starting with this thing?
People keep talking about a new baseball stadium wherever it would be, and I'm not going to speak to that, but it wouldn't be that far from 18th and Vine, no matter the sites that are rumored. I expect, let's say I would think you'd have that streetcar groundbreaking by about 2028. Probably try to have that line open by 2031 or 32.
Oh, that's possibly that's the same year as the Royals would move out of Kaufman and into a possible new stadium downtown or something. I don't know. I'm just speaking like what my vision is and what I see. Yes, that's all I'm saying. Mayor Lucas, we ain't gonna get you in no trouble. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for always hustling and shining on a Monday.
Yes.
We'll holler at you next week.
I'll see y'all. Take care of everybody.
Thank you.